Hey guys, welcome to Media Glitch. This episode is a little bit different than normal. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time, and if you guys like it, please let me know. We'll continue to do more of these. This Media Glitch is shown on TV here in New Mexico, and as well as we put them on YouTube. And I really am loving the YouTube community and the people that are doing things, and especially the gamers. It seems like there's just so many cool gaming channels on YouTube, and a while back I found one, and this guy is awesome. I mean, he did the first unboxing of a video game, maybe one of the first. I'm not sure if it was the first, but he definitely started that trend, and now you can see it everywhere. But he's got 278 videos. He's got 26,468 subscribers. He's got over 6 million views. You're almost going to hit 7 million views. I mean, that's awesome, and he really gives us the information about the deals of games, video games that are coming out, special editions, just awesome, entertaining stuff, facts, and he gets straight to the point, and it's just such an awesome experience to watch his videos, because you can tell that this man loves video games, has a passion for video games, and these are the kinds of people that I want to be around, because I'm passionate about video games too. So it is an honor to introduce to you guys Jimmy from A Lot of Games. So Jimmy, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me today, and it's great to be able to talk with fellow gamers. It's a great time to be a gamer, and I definitely want to talk to you more about that.
So your channel is called Lots of Games, right?
Yes.
On YouTube. So
yes, it is.
I think I said a lot of games a minute ago, but I just
okay.
There's a lot of game, lots of games. There's a bunch of games, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And so you have a lot of games, but how many games do you have, Jimmy? Exactly.
Oh man. So yeah, it's increasing. It's increasing every day, which my wife is very grateful for. So no, but the only reason why I'm able to get the amount of games I have now is I usually get great deals. With the internet, you get to learn about all these great deals, whether it's Best Buy or Target or Amazon.com. There's just always these crazy deals going on. Some of them are pretty outrageous at how low some of these games are. But in terms of, to answer your question, I'm mainly buying now for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, and it's in the hundreds. I wish I had an exact number for you, but it's in the hundreds, and it's always growing. That's a kind of ballpark figure, 100. So.
Do you collect retro games too, or just the newer consoles?
I occasionally, if I find good, I go to garage sales every once in a while, and yeah, there's some sweet PS2 or NES pickups. Definitely down for that. It's harder and harder to find great retro pickups, because there's a lot of collectors out there.
Yeah.
Especially like eBay. Like a while back, I think you maybe were able to find some gems on eBay, but it's kind of competitive now. Like, you want to get a great SNES game or a nice PlayStation 1 game. It's getting harder to get a good deal. The best way that I found to get good deals for retro games is usually at a garage sale. Oftentimes, if you go to like a flea market, they kind of know what they're doing. They go on eBay, they know what they're doing. But if you go to a garage sale, you can usually score a good deal. And it's always also fun to you never know if there's something special there. And so I like, if there's a garage sale I see, I just swing by, check it out, and that's what I do for retro games.
Right. Now, a lot of people, they'll come to my house and they'll be like, wow, you got a lot of games. Me, I mean, I don't have as many as you do, but and I think they go, how do you afford to buy all these games? And after watching your channel, like, you'll say stuff like what's on sale at GameStop, or you'll say, on Amazon you can pick this stuff up. What is the place that you recommend the most for people to find cheap games?
Okay, so there's a couple different websites to go to. One good way to find out is if you just go do like a Yahoo or Google search for Reddit game deals, and that thing's like updated hourly. And whether you're in PC gaming or you have an Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3, and usually there's deals that'll tell you like maybe the weekly deal on Best Buy, or maybe there's like a daily special going on for Amazon.com. Sometimes Amazon has like these lightning deals where for an hour you can get that game on sale, like maybe like 50-70% off.
Wow.
So yeah, it can be a little time consuming, but yeah, if you check your internet, go, hey, is there a deal going on today that I should be aware of? Is there a deal going on this week that maybe I should be aware of? Because there's a lot of great games out there, but I can't spend $60 on every single new game,
Yeah.
But there are some games I will buy on day one, but some games I'm like, you know what? I'm going to wait. Once that game hits $15, once that game hits $10, I've already got it figured out. I don't have to stress about all these games passing me. I know like the games I want to buy today and the games I'm going to buy tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing how fast games drop in price nowadays. It used to take a lot longer, but now, wow, it's like I seen Resident Evil 6 like half off 2 weeks, 3 weeks after it dropped. I was like, what is going on here?
No, exactly. In other places like Gamefly.com, like they rent out games or they mail the games to you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they that's a place that I've seen Resident Evil. I think like even after Resident Evil 6 was out only like a couple months, it dropped to like $15-$20, which is outrageous. These games are dropping in price like crazy, and that can be a good thing for us. Some of the games out there might take longer to drop, but yeah, it's amazing some of the deals you can get.
Now, you were one of the first YouTubers to do an unboxing, and now you see it all the time. And
right.
You did, what you did at, did you do Elder Scrolls? Is that what you did?
Yeah, it was the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. That's actually why I even started my channel. I'm a big fan of the Elder Scrolls series. And I'm like, oh, sweet, it's the collector's edition for Oblivion. And I got it. It had some cool stuff. It had a coin. It had this kind of like history book of the Elder Scrolls, the different areas. And so I picked it up and I went online. I thought it was just a really nice collector's edition. And I noticed that no one had uploaded like an unboxing video or to show it off.
Right.
So I ended up filming it and uploading it on YouTube just to show fans of the series. And people were like, "Oh man, you should keep doing this." I'm like, "Dude, I'm just uploading this video. I just wanted to show. I'm not here to show off. I just wanted to show what you get if you're a fan of the series. This is what the collector's edition has." And so I ended up doing that also for the first Mass Effect limited edition,
right.
And also for the Call of Duty, the first Modern Warfare. That had a collector's edition. And no one else had on YouTube for some reason. No one else had uploaded it, so I'm like, all right, I'll upload these videos. And so that's how it got started with my channel, just doing unboxing videos. And it was fun, It was fun that people were actually watching me open up a game, which is kind of weird if you think about it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool for those that are real fans of the game, because sometimes people buy the game, say like the first Mass Effect game, and they're a huge fan of it. They're like, oh man, is there anything else I can get for this? Is there a collector's edition? I know everyone isn't into the collector's edition, but oftentimes, you go to GameStop, the website, or Amazon, and they just show you a picture. And I want to be able to show the gamers what you actually get, what's inside the box, a few of the pages of the art book. Is it really worth it? Is it worth, because some of these collector's editions are expensive.
Yeah.
And so that's why mainly I started unboxing stuff.
And then when you seen people were interested and you see the hits going and you see the subscribers coming, what are you thinking to yourself?
It was weird because, when people, honestly, I didn't even want to start a channel. I just wanted to upload it, go, there it is. I don't care if I didn't want any credit. I'm like, this is what you get. But they're like, no, if you upload something, you need a username. And so I'm like, what? Lots of, my name is Lots of Games. And earlier that week, I was, because I was like, I gotta get a channel name. Earlier that week, my boss came to me. He's like, hey, I need you to order some more batteries for a surgical headlamp. And I'm like, well, tell me how many you need. And he looks at me, says, I don't know, get lost. And I'm like, all right, I guess we'll do my channel name that. And so that's how it got started. And but when people started subscribing to my channel, I thought it was weird because I'm like, dude, why are you wanting to follow me? I'm not uploading more videos. This is it. So here I am today, still uploading videos.
Yeah, 278 videos later.
Right.
I mean, that's impressive, you know. Do you have any advice to give to new channels that are just starting out? And you know, because it's with so much out there now, it's sometimes the good stuff gets buried and they don't get noticed. Do you have any advice for these people coming up new?
Yeah, it's definitely it can be hard getting started. The most important thing, though, I can say is when you start making videos, make videos that you really want to make. There could be videos that you could make that could get you more views. Say, for instance, you could be talking about Grand Theft Auto 5 all day long, or something else that's kind of popular. You could do that, but if that's not really what you want to do, you're not going to be happy, number one. And number two, I think gamers realize when you're really into something. And when you're really into something, people, one way or another on YouTube, they'll find your channel. And they'll find that you have the same passion and interest that you have. And once that happens, the views and the subscribers, that'll all take place. Sometimes, you know, when you're starting out, it is a slow start and it takes patience. You just want people to watch your stuff, and I understand that. But the most important thing that I can tell YouTubers starting channel is just do stuff. You know, I know it might sound really just too simple, but make videos that you really want to make. And people who will like, oh, Man of Steel, I'm really into that. Oh, there's this guy who did a review who's really into it. You know, they'll find your stuff. Maybe not everyone you'd like to find your stuff, but they will, and they'll know that you're really into it, and so they'll want to be a part of that and subscribe to your channel.
Yeah, I feel like I did the Revenge of Shinobi episode. I did that.
Right.
And it was like crazy long, and they had to put it on. You know, when I turned it into the TV station, it was like huge. They're like, "What are you talking about for so long?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's the Revenge of Shinobi," and they're like, "I don't know if they're gonna, who's gonna want to hear this?" I'm like, "I don't care, I do," you know, because that's what I'm passionate about, man. I love that video game, and then when I put it on YouTube, I started to see people who were passionate about that game too.
Yeah.
And if anything comes out on that game, they want to know about it, and they want to see other people's views on it.
Absolutely, and not just that. Oftentimes, people will find your stuff, and they might even not really know a lot about it. Like, a lot of people watching that video, they're like, oh, Revenge of Shinobi, I know all about that. Some people are like, oh, there's this big Genesis game that I've seen in the stores, let's check this out. Opens up a whole new world to them. We'll see that you're really passionate about it, and that you know a ton of stuff about it. Yeah. And that's very interesting. Oftentimes, these little details that most people are like, dude, how'd you catch that? A lot of people are into that. They want to know these little details, and it's really fun to learn about these things. You know, like how you talked about how with Revenge of Shinobi there was different actors that were hired on for the game, because one of the actors that was in the first run of the Revenge of Shinobi game, you know, his contract had run out or something like that. That's interesting. That's really interesting. You know, I never knew that.
Yeah. So your advice is just keep at it, do what you're passionate about, huh?
Absolutely. I know that sounds like kind of simple. It's too simple, or you know, whatever, cliche. But ultimately, you know, how long do you want to do this? If you know this is something you just want views and subscribers, you know, and you can get views and subscribers doing something you love. But you know, oftentimes people are just so focused on the views and the views and the views, and just you know, do what you want. You know, cover stuff that you want to cover. You know, right. It might not be the most popular thing. You know, you might do a search for the past month on a game that no one's talked about. But if something that you want to really talk about, you should do it.
Now, having a YouTube channel, having, you know, over 6 million people see a video that you made. I know I don't even have 100 subscribers yet, and I still get trolls. And for people who are watching, they don't know what a troll is. It's just basically someone who goes on there and just has negative things to say, horrible comments, and they're just a real nuisance. And so how have you dealt with trolls and people who are just like bashing you or commenting negatively about you? Because I know what they've written about me, and I'm like, dang, that's crazy. You're like, you kiss your mother with that mouth, you know, like.
No, I know. Well, that's the thing on YouTube is people, you'll get the best of society and the worst of society. And you know, right off the bat, when I was first uploading videos, I think one of the first comments I got was, "I hope you get cancer and die." And then when I heard that, and when I read that, I was like, honestly, I'm like, I was kind of at a crossroads at that point because I'm like, dude, is this even worth it? Me uploading videos? This is ridiculous. And that, you know, there's been a lot worse comments than that, you know, but I honestly had I was like, you know, kind of hit me to the core. I'm like, dude, what am I doing? But then I realized, I'm like, you know what, a lot of people are enjoying this. And there is the occasional person that's going to hide behind their keyboard and say whatever that they never say to your face. But best advice that I have, whether you're making music or making shows or in doing some type of form of entertainment, is just do your best to just take it with a grain of salt. Mm-hmm. And just realize, because that's the hard thing for some creators sometimes, because hundreds of people could love your stuff, but if there's just one or two people that don't like it, it's important to not take it too seriously.
Yeah.
Because that could really trip you up, or just because it's not worth it. People have different tastes. Sometimes people just have a really bad day and they're venting on what you created, and it has nothing to do with what you created. They're just in a foul mood. This is easier said than done, what I'm saying though. But honestly, sometimes there's a comment left which is so rude, and I have the perfect thing to say to them, and I type it out, then I'm like, I typed this out, this guy's gonna be pissed at me. I'm like, you know what? Delete, whatever. I'm deleting this guy's comment. If it's bad enough, I'll block him. Because people leave comments or whatever, and oftentimes if someone leaves like a bad comment, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, and then just, if they do it again for another video, then, because I don't want like, you know, comments that are unnecessary filling my videos. But yeah, it's just to take it with a grain of salt, not take it too seriously, and realize that it's part of the game. It's part of it.
What I realized is that most people are just jealous because, I mean, they're just sitting behind their computer watching other people be creative, or watching other people having a good time, and they, you know, they're like, why can't I do that, or why can't I be that, or
yeah,
you know. So that's what I've done. I'm just like, so I delete my comments. You delete your comments as well?
I do. Yeah, like I said, if you know, I have to think about it. If sometimes it's constructive stuff, I'm like, all right. And sometimes I'll comment back, oh, you know what, you made a good point. You know, right. It might kind of like take my pride down a notch, but I'm like, you know what, I see where you're coming from. But yeah, I do definitely delete them if they're unnecessary.
Right on. So now I'm a huge retro gamer. I love Nintendo 8-bit. I mean, I played Atari to death, but my real love and passion starts with the Nintendo 8-bit system, you know. And then, you know, I felt like there was a change around after the Nintendo 64, or during Nintendo 64, where things start going 3D and PlayStation, where we get away from the 2D platformers.
Sure.
And I know that you are the same. Well, not the same way, but you love that time as well. Can you give us, what is your favorite retro game? Whether it's NES, SNES, Game Boy, whatever it is. What is that one that is always going to be there for you?
You know, Super Mario Brothers 3 is a winner, a classic. I don't know what it was. You know, something about when Super Mario Brothers 3, you've got these really just amazing levels to play through. But then, like, for each like world, you've got these different levels that you're on this map. That, I don't know, something about that map, the different maps in the different worlds. I don't know, just kind of, it's like kind of like a game changer for me. Obviously, it's the first Super Mario Brothers. That's like what made me want to get an NES. But Super Mario Brothers 3, I was like, oh man, they've taken it to the next level. And also another one that I really loved a lot, that a lot of people were like, oh man, that's the black sheep. Why do you like that game? I really like Zelda 2.
Oh, I love Zelda 2.
And it's like, it was totally different, the gameplay and the gameplay mechanics, very different from, you know, the first Zelda game. And, but I loved it. I don't know, there's something about it that, I think that's one of the first games I bought. And also one of my favorites that I got was Mega Man 2.
Man.
I love Mega Man 2, and just a quick story. I got my NES for Christmas. Everyone else had an NES. I was one of those kids that wanted one, but my parents, I eventually finally got one as a kid. And my aunt actually was an author, and she was doing a book tour, and she happened to be in San Francisco. She's like, she told my grandmother, hey, I'm going to be in town. You want to come with, you know, bring your grandkids, her, you know, her niece and nephew, my sister and me, we went up to meet my aunt. So she's this author, she's doing book signings, okay? And there's a toy store in San Francisco, which I think was also one in New York, called FAO Schwartz. And it's this incredible toy store, okay? And it was actually one of the toy stores, I'm not sure if you ever saw the movie Big with Tom Hanks.
Oh, yeah, the piano.
Like that, he's playing the piano in that toy store. That was that toy store chain, okay?
Oh, right on.
They had the same piano at this toy store I went to. And I was there with my aunt, and, you know, we were walking around the toy store. I wasn't sure why. And then she's like, tell me about this video game, this, you know, what is this Nintendo? And I was like, oh yeah, let me tell you all about this again. I only had an NES, okay? I only had Super Mario Brothers. I didn't have Zelda, I didn't have anything. You know, I was this poor kid who didn't have money for games. But I knew I really wanted to get Mega Man 2. I don't know why. I never even played it. I just, occasionally I would get to read the video game magazines at the store. So I knew, I'm like, dude, Mega Man 2, I gotta get that game. I don't know how. So I was telling my aunt about this, okay? And at the time, I think the game's around $40 or $50. I don't even remember how much it was. But she looked at me, she said, yeah, why don't you go ahead and pick out a game?
Oh, man.
And I'm like, seriously? And so I was so excited. And so I ended up picking up Mega Man 2. And my sister, she ended up getting something, whatever, but it wasn't a cool game like me. So anyway, I had the game tucked in my jacket, and I was holding on for dear life. I didn't want some thug or whatever to take it out of my jacket, so I held it dear life until I got home, and that's how I got Mega Man 2, which was pretty sweet. One of my favorite NES games.
Oh yeah, for sure. Man, I don't know how many times I've gone through that game. Just amazing.
That's a hard one.
Now, in one of your episodes, you talked about one day you had to sell everything. You had a bunch of Sega, you had a bunch of Nintendo, you had a bunch of stuff. You had to sell everything. And then now, I mean, you've come back, you know, you've seen the error of your ways, you've come home. And so what is the game, or what is the system that brings you back?
I had taken a break for a while, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go, I don't know, I was just, something was missing. This sounds weird. It sounds like maybe some type of addict, but I'm like, you know what? I enjoyed gaming in the past. It wasn't like I was shunning inner responsibilities. It was just something I just took a break from, you know, I just wasn't feeling it for that time. And so one day I was by a toy store, and I went inside, and they had some deals on PlayStation 1 games. And that PlayStation 1 was one thing I did not sell. I still had that in the garage somewhere. I'm like, you know what? I sold that PS1. Let me check this out. And then I think at this time, it was around the time the PlayStation 2 was released or about to be released. So I'm like, let me check the PlayStation 1. And I did. And it was, first game that I got was called Concerto. Kind of like a platforming game with these really cool cutscenes. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is why I'm a gamer. Just these great experiences. And you know, people often misjudge gamers, like, oh, you're just this mindless entertainment. And for some people that's the case, but some people like me, it's like I'm really interested to know what direction this game's going. I'm interested in the story, and this is a way that stories can be told, and these are ways that experiences can be reached.
And it's only getting better. Like I've been playing The Last of Us the last couple of days.
Oh, awesome!
And like I'm in the first 20 minutes, and I'm just like, I don't, because I'm in the film business too, you know, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
maybe I'm in the wrong business. Like this story, like the way you can tell a story is different than a movie because you can interact with the story that I want to tell you, you know? And so like I'm really excited for the whole next gen consoles even though I'm a retro gamer and I love those games by heart, there's definitely an advantage to the storytelling nowadays, like that Naughty Dog is doing, and just like all the other great companies. So you kind of live the dream of some reviewers because you actually get games sent to you sometimes by G2PO.
Right.
And so how did you get hooked up with that? How did that work out for you?
Okay, G2PO, it's basically just like YouTube, except it's just for gaming. And I know it's approached, and they're like, hey, we'd love to have your videos on our site. Would that be something you're interested in? And I'm like, yeah, sure, you got it. So I started doing that. And then I would get these emails from the management and say, hey, would you be interested in reviewing this game? We just got contacted by the developer or the publisher. I'm like, heck yeah, dude, send it my way. So that's how I got started, and I've had the chance to review quite a few games from them. And so what I do is I'll review the game and I'll upload it to YouTube, and then also G2PO. And it's been great because I've been able to review some stuff that maybe I didn't really have on the radar, but
Right.
you know, just like, hey, check this out. And you know, they review some pretty cool stuff. Like one of the better ones I had the chance to review was Metro Last Light, which was developed by just a small development team from I believe Russia, and just a fantastic first-person shooter, which is very fun. And every once in a while I've had the chance to get sent other games, like Square Enix has sent me some stuff too, which has been, hey, I would not mind them sending me some Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts 3. So we'll have to wait and see on that. I'm not sure if that'll work out.
How awesome does Final Fantasy 15 look? Oh my goodness.
It looks pretty amazing. It looks pretty unbelievable. Yeah.
I know that's not part of the question, but it looks awesome.
It looks amazing.
We'll leave it at that. So this is a really nerdy question, and we might lose some of our viewers at this point.
Yeah.
But I know that you're a big Ys fan.
Yeah.
I'm a big Ys fan. I mean, that's probably, I just love this series. But I know there's a lot of confusion on, you know, people, I see it on the internet, and they want to know, I want to play the Ys series. There's a lot of games, there's a lot of different titles, there's a lot of different, it's all on different systems. How could someone play the Ys series, you know, from beginning to end, have that experience?
Uh-huh.
And I know this is a confusing, crazy kind of question, but you've done an Ys episode with an Ys developer, and you might know a little more of the inside stuff than most people, so maybe you could give us an explanation on how this works.
Okay, so the Ys series, if you'll try to look it up, it's the way you spell it is YS. For people back home, they might be trying to spell it out. But the Ys series, at least in this, it's a game developed outside the States, and we haven't been able to see all of the Ys games in the States or other parts of the world. And I believe the first Ys game, I believe in the States, was made available on the Sega Master System. There's probably some experts that are just going to be rolling their eyes at what I'm trying to explain to you, but they did have then Ys Book 1 and 2 Ys games on a single CD for the TurboGrafx 16 CD player. and that's the first one I came in contact with. And that game had cinematics, it had cutscenes, had an incredible soundtrack, CD quality soundtrack, which I was not, playing NES. I was not used to something like this. Had voice actors, real voice actors with dialogue. So this was totally different. This is an action RPG. And so then there was Ys 3 for the TurboGrafx CD. But the problem was is that those games didn't really do as well as the developers and publishers had hoped in the States. And so Ys 4 did not come out outside of Japan. It was only in Japan. And also Ys 5 was released in Japan as well. Ys 4, there was the equivalent of the TurboGrafx in Japan, and then there was the equivalent of the Super Nintendo, Super Famicom in Japan. There were two different versions in Japan, and then there was Ys 5
by two different developers, if I remember.
Exactly,
yes.
Two different developers, and then there was Ys 5, which is exclusive to the Super Famicom. Okay, so we didn't have those games. Finally, there was an Ys 6. Which was released for the PlayStation 2 here in the States, which I was so stoked for. And it's actually pretty decent. Okay, it's not bad. And then you've got Ys 7 for the PSP. I know it's just everywhere. The series is just it's crazy. It's everywhere. But they're still cranking out the Ys games. If you have a PC, a computer, you have a laptop, it doesn't really have to be that powerful, but you can get a free Steam account. And Steam right now has a few different really just excellent Ys games. They've got the Oath in Felghana, which is kind of like a take on Ys 3. There's Ys 1 and 2 Chronicles Plus, which if you don't know a lot about the series, you want to play that. Again, you don't really have to have a computer that's that powerful at all, but check it out. And then there's Ys Origin, which is just totally different from the series. It takes place like 700 years before the main series, okay?
Right.
So anyway, then there's going to be one for the Vita that hopefully we're going to get, and it's kind of like...
Oh, we better get it.
We probably will, but it's kind of like a version of like Ys 4. Like I said, there's two different Ys 4 games, but it's kind of like its own take on Ys 4, which is going to be available for the Vita, which hopefully is going to be released in the fall.
Now,
and
so
yeah,
is E4, can we say Ys 4 has now crossed the hands of 3 different developers?
Yes, actually, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. No, you can say that. And it's just, there's a lot of fans of the series, believe it or not. It has a cult following. And,
great. They're great games.
They are. They're fantastic. Great little game. Most of the games in the series have just really good music. Mm-hmm. And when they first started coming out, they really were ahead of their time, in my opinion. You had these like animation cutscenes in a game, and at the time that was it was unheard of. Nothing had really been seen. It was really groundbreaking. But yeah, it's a phenomenal series, and there's a lot of different options for you to check out.
Yeah, you can get like Ys 1 and 2 for the PSP. You can get it for...
That's true, absolutely.
You can get it for the DS. So there's a lot of ways that people can play these things, but it's just so confusing because some of the names are changed. It's just, it can get a bit overwhelming.
Yes.
But at times, but definitely, my first Ys experience was Wanderers on the NES, and back in the day, I used to call it Wanderers from Wise.
Right, a lot of people said that
because I didn't know it was Ys at the time. So
right.
Wanderers from Wise, that was my first experience, and I was like, I don't know what this is, and then I heard it was the third game, and then I had to get all of the other ones, and so.
Yeah, that's awesome. Your first encounter with it. And I think actually there was an Ys game. I think there was a Wanderer. So there's a Wanderers for the TurboGrafx CD. There's a Wanderers for the SNES. And then there was one for the Sega Genesis.
Genesis, yes.
And
which is good too. Which is awesome. They're all
that's awesome.
Equally awesome. Okay, that's enough nerd question right there. You've done a lot of videos. Do you have a favorite video that you have done? This is the one that, in your heart, your favorite video that you have done.
Okay, so when I first started making videos, I was just using like a crappy digital camera, which had like video mode.
Right.
And like that's how I first got started. And I'll never forget, I got my first like flip camera, like had HD. I'm like, holy cow, I'm filming in HD. I remember the first video I did for that was it was my first HD video, which was my Xbox 360 collection, and it was only like, I think it was only like 8 minutes long, but just jumping from standard def to high def, I mean, that might sound kind of like all about vanity, how it looks, but I'm like, this looks really good compared to where I was at.
Right.
And that one kind of has a special place in my heart, because it kind of moved to the next level of making videos, more than just making with a standard digital camera. Well, I was doing this, and I'm serious about it. I think I spent around 80 or 100 bucks. I bought it used off eBay, and I'm like, man, I'm serious about this. And so that was my first video, and I don't know, that one kind of has a special place in my heart.
What can we expect in the future for Lotto Games?
So I'm hoping to cover actually, I know there's been a lot of controversy with the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, but I am really interested to see what takes place. I'm interested in talking a whole lot more about the games that are going to be released for these consoles. Yeah, I'm really excited for the fall. There's a lot of great games on the way. I'm definitely going to be doing more video content on helping gamers score great deals. There's a lot of great games you can actually get for $5 or less. And the past few months I've been making videos about, for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, great games that you can get for less than $5. And you don't have to break the bank to, get a good experience or get some of these experiences. I'm definitely going to be making more of those types of videos. And also maybe more top 10 lists. I like talking about like my favorite PlayStation 3 games, my favorite Xbox 360 games. I, not too long ago, got a gaming PC, and I've been getting into that, so I'll probably do a top 10 list of like my favorite PC games as well.
Wow. So maybe we can see a retro review one day? Yeah?
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. Maybe more than a few months ago, I scored a super cheap copy of Lunar 2 for the PlayStation 1. And I got it for like $2.50.
That's insane.
And it had most of the stuff. It had like the soundtrack and
it's like the special edition one.
Yeah, exactly. I got most of that for $2.50, and so I got to talk. A lot of my viewers like, oh man, you should talk more about this stuff. So I'll have to do that. Like I said, current gen stuff, the stuff coming takes a lot of my time, but I'll talk about some of those other winners that I'm a fan of.
Right on. Well, Jimmy, thank you so much for just sharing, your passion with us, for coming on the show, and me as a gamer, we appreciate you. We appreciate what you do. Just, letting us know what's in those special edition collector boxes, letting us know where the great deals are, and thank you so much for doing that for us. And I hope that this plays on TV, and hopefully some more people can know they can turn to you, especially in this time where the new consoles are coming out. Where are the deals? And now that it almost seems like Xbox has forgotten that the 360 exists. Those games are gonna get a lot cheaper too, and you'll be able to tell us where the good deals are. So thank you so much for coming on the show, and I don't know, just thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, Joel. I really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun to be able to talk about some of these modern and retro gaming moments. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot to be excited about, and thanks for the opportunity.
Awesome, thank you.